Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to my reading journey. Hope we're all doing fantastic, and today we're gonna start a new story. Ads a ruler of man. So let's begin. I walk the streets of the city of insolence, thrusting, 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 thrust, thirsting for the sight of a stranger face. For the city is a desert of familiar types as thick and alike as the grains in a sandstorm. And you grow to hate them as you do a friend who is always be you or one of you own kin. And my desire was granted, for I saw near a corner of Broadway and 29th Street a little flaxen haired man with a face like a scaly bark, hickory nut, selling to a fast gathering crowd a tool of a tool that omnigeniously proclaimed itself a can opener, a screw divider, a button hook, a nail file, a shoehorn, a watch guard, a potato peeler, and an ornament to any gentleman's gay ring. And then a stall-fed cop showed himself through the congregation of customers. The vendor, plainly used to having his seasons of trade, thus abruptly curtailed, closed his satchel and slipped like a weasel through the opposite segment of the circle. The crowd scurried aimlessly, away like ants from a disturbed crump. Crump is probably the house of the ants. Disturbed crump. Maybe. The cop suddenly became oblivious of the earth and its inhabitants, stood still, swelling his bulk, and putting his club through the intricate drill of twirls. Intricate drill of twirls. I hurried after Kansas Bill Bowers and caught him by an arm. Without his looking at me or slowing his pace, I found a five bill crumbled neatly into my hand. I wouldn't have thought, Kansas Bill, I said, that you'd haul an old friend that ship. Then he turned his head, and the hickory nut cracked into a wide smile. Give me back the money, he said, or I will have the cop after you for false pretenses. I thought you was the cop. I want to talk to you, Bill, I said. When did you leave Oklahoma? Where is Reddy McGill now? Why are you selling those impossible contraptions on the street? How did you big horn gold mine pan out? How did you get so badly sunburned? What will you drink? A year ago, answered Kansas Bill systematically. A year ago, answered Kansasville systematically. Putting out windmills in Arizona for pin money to buy at ceteras with salted, been down in the tropics beer. We foregathered in a propitious, we foregathered in a propitious place and became Elias, while a waiter of dark plumage played the raven to perfection. Reminiscence needs must be had before I could steer Bill into his epic mood. Yes, said he, I mind the time Timotheus' rope broke on that cow's horn while the calf was chasing you. Calf. You and that cow. I never forget it. The topics, said I, are abroad. The tropics, said I, are a broad territory. What part of Cancer or Capricorn have you been honoring with a visit? Down along China or Peru, or maybe the Argentine Confederacy, said Kansasville. Anyway, 'twas among a great race of people, off color but progressive. I was there 3 months. No doubt you're glad to be back among the thoroughly great race, I surmised. Especially among New Yorkers, the most progressive and independent citizens of any country in the world, I continued. With the variety of the provincial who has eaten the Broadway lottos. Do you want to start an argument? Asked Bill. Can there be one? I answered. Has the Irishman humor, do you think? Asked he. I have an hour or two to spare, said I, looking at the cafe clock. Not that the Americans aren't great commercial nation, conceded Bill, but the fault lay with the people who wrote lines for fiction. What was this Irishman's name? I asked. Was that last beer cold enough? Said he. I see there is talk of further outbreaks among the Russian peasants, I remarked. His name was Barney O'Connor, said Bill. Thus, because of our ancient presence of each other's trail of thought, we traveled ambitiously to the point where a Kansasville story began. I met O'Connor in a boarding house on the west side. He invited me to his hall room to have a drink, and we became like a dog and a cat that had been raised together. There he sat, a tall, fine, handsome man, with his feet against one wall and his back against the other, looking over the map. On the bed and sticking 3 feet out of it was a beautiful gold sword with tassels on it and rhinestones in the handle. Alright, guys. It seems that it's a long story. Probably will consist with 5 parts, I think, or probably 6. And we're gonna continue with the second part tomorrow. Thank you for joining me today in this video, and see you tomorrow on the next one. Bye.